We got Jacky Chen here. Thank you for
sir.
joining us on the dark side of BEASTwriter from Pace University.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to get your take on the Shrine Bowl festivities here, what you're trying to strive for, and what do you want to try to prove to some of these NFL scouts who may or may not know about you?
I mean, just being here alone is a blessing, and I'm super grateful for being invited to such a prestigious elite bowl game. Just what I'm trying to get out of it is really just proving to myself and other people that may not know much about me, my game, my athleticism, and just to see how I compete against top Power 5, top performers in the country. So just want to make a name for myself.
And in doing that, making a name for yourself, talking about your game, there's things that you're obviously strong at, right?
Yes,
and there's obviously things that we can always work on. So what are those strengths and weaknesses when you evaluate your own game for self-awareness?
So for strength, I think, well, I would say I'm very physical and smooth in run blocking. I do pretty well in climbing the next level for linebackers and where safeties, wherever it may be. I think my feet I have very good feet and flexibility wise, and my athleticism and my bend. I think those are my strengths, but my weakness, I know that is like when it comes to pass rush, sitting on the ball harder and just be able to really just kind of just acknowledge that in my head, just realize that like on the go, whether it's like a millisecond, just like realize the rush is defined and it's a bull, just being able to sit on those bigger ends. So yeah.
And then obviously, when you have a good game, things go well. But when you have a bad games, things don't necessarily go your way. Who do you rely on? Not necessarily in football, but in the game of life. When you have a bad day and you just need someone to rely on, who is that support?
I mean, my number one resort I go to if I'm stressed out or if I ever have necessarily doubts or just anything, feeling uneasy, always pray to God. I read scripture just to help me ease my mind a little bit and just kind of. For that, in terms of people, like support system, my family, my girlfriend, for sure.
And then what does football mean to you? Obviously, it's something that you want to do as a career path, but what does it mean to you outside of just being a job?
It's just something I love. I mean, I always wanted to play football. I started at a late age, started sophomore year of high school, but football means it creates something else that you can't get anywhere else. It creates life lessons. It teaches you life lessons. It teaches you experiences, how to deal with adversity and things that life in general wouldn't really be able to teach. It teaches you a lot of things off the field as well. That's what I love about football.
And there's some players in the NFL that obviously I think not necessarily you copy, but kind of you mold your game after, right? Who are some of those players that you try to mold your game after at the NFL level?
I'm always looking at Taylor Lewan. I used to before he got hurt, but he was an all-pro tackle. Different look at him just based on his size. I feel like we have similar body types. How he's able to play the way he does. Trent Williams, obviously. Tyron Smith, and recently Penei Sewell as well.
All right, so is there anything about football that you necessarily don't like?
About the actual sport, no. There's nothing I don't like about football. There may be things that in football when it comes to I guess an example would be in terms of if you're playing a game, right? You're playing a game and then you're losing, where something bad happens, a play gets busted, something bad happens, you face adversity. The one thing I don't like is how some people some teammates, whatever it may be, kind of just shut down. They don't have that next play mentality. I feel like that's one thing that annoys me, but obviously you can't really do anything about it when it's other people, but nothing about the sport I don't like.
Coming out of Pace University and being here on the game's biggest stage, what is something that maybe you want NFL scouts to know that maybe they don't know about you?
I feel like not many scouts know a lot about me because under D2 guy, under the radar for sure. I just want the scouts to see what I put on film and see me in person and how I play, how smooth I am in person, and how I hold up against these bigger guys, higher level competition and talent.
And obviously different coaching styles over the course of the years. You said sophomore year was your high school
Yes, sir,
start?
sophomore, yeah.
All right, so you obviously know you played with different coaches. Do you prefer a coach that praises your accolades or criticizes your flaws?
I think there's a fine line. I think it's a little bit in the middle, the sweet middle. Obviously, a coach if the coach is not coaching you and telling you what you did wrong, then they don't care, and that's just not good because you always want a coach that is hard on you, that will tell you what you got to do, what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and but not to the extreme, I guess I could say, and as well as just like telling you like, all right, this is like, you did this good, you did this well, but definitely a coach that like really gets on you.
And last but not least, this is kind of a fun one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the first thing that comes to your mind. If you were to describe your game in one word, what would it be?
My game in one word: unsatisfied.
Unsatisfied. Why?
Sir, just because there's always room for improvement. It doesn't matter if you win the rep. There's little things, little techniques, little minuscule things that you can always pick apart and improve your game, and just never be comfortable. Always like, don't get too comfortable. That's just what I have to say.
All right, that's Jacky Chen. Thank you so much, Jacky.
Sir,
I appreciate it
you. Thank you
for joining us today.